Kohl Rosario, one of the fastest risers throughout the EYBL showcases this past spring, has committed to Kansas and reclassed into the class of 2025. Dion, he's still not the necessarily the highest ranked player that Bill Self has ever landed, to put it nicely. He's still just 71st per the 24/7 Sports composite. I think his reputation, though, right now is it's seems to be rapidly growing among college basketball media and fans alike. You have this 6'4", 6'5" wing who's a knockdown sharpshooter, shot 45% during EYBL play this past spring, played really well at the Adidas Next Gen Euro. I always botch the name of that. The Adidas Next Gen tournament. We'll just go with that. And yeah, it seems like he's ready to step in and fill a role. He would have been old for the class of 2026 anyway. Bill Self finally gets a little bit of help on the perimeter. A guy to take some of the load off of Darren Peterson. What are your takes on Rosario and what he can bring to the Jayhawks this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's really bouncy. He can shoot and space the floor. Biggest issue with him is he's a wing, 6'4", right? So my guy Sleepy Pete, a little bit taller. I kind of view him as a one. That's my Darren Peterson nickname for everybody. We're workshopping, but I'm rocking with it at the moment. So I think he could kind of make up for it a little bit, but I think defense is going to be an issue. Like if this is the backcourt, which I do not believe that it actually is. Like
Mhm.
I don't think Cole Rosario starts necessarily. But let's say hypothetically he were to, if that's the backcourt, like defense could very much so be an issue. So I think the way they use Cole, the way they use Sleepy Pete is going to be like it's going to be very interesting. But we're talking about one of the greatest college coaches of all time. Like I do trust Bill Self to be able to figure something out like that. But he gets to the basket with ease. He can shoot. He has a wide frame, good skill set, but he is 6'4". Like that, 6'4" wing. he- Everything I just said might not matter, unfortunately.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what shortcomings that could befall him in his prospects with the Jayhawks this year because on the perimeter as a whole, Kansas is lacking positional size. I mean, I would say right now, day one starters are probably DP at the one, who's 6'5", but then after that, you have Jaden Dawson at the two, 6'4", Melvin Council probably at the three, 6'4". I guess those two are, I guess Council's more of a combo and Dawson's probably more of the true wing. But you're looking at I would say, an undersized unit, and I get Flory Badunga as this awesome shot blocker, but even he, he's not the biggest dude. He's 6'8", 6'9". Trey White's in there at 6'7". Okay, probably standard four size, or maybe they throw Bryson Tiller out there as well. But still, like it's not like I wouldn't say there's this massive front court that's going to ease some of the burden off of these backcourt members. And Rosario, to me, I love the upside. I love that they were able to add him as late as he was, and it's fun to get a guy who's like this huge stock riser and kind of comes out of nowhere and emerges as like, I mean, I'm seeing people on Twitter throw out NBA prospects for Cole Rosario. I'm not ready to get there yet, but
I, I mean, at some point,
yeah, at
right?
some point, yeah. But
At
I
some point.
saw I saw some random Twitter was like, I'm gonna have him lottery in 2026, which is a little bit much for me, but
So like one and done.
yes. You
That's
see
it.
the highlights and you understand like he's electric in transition. He's throwing down reverse dunks in game and stuff. And even at the Adidas Next Gen tournament, he was knocking down threes off the bounce and just looked like a super confident sniper. But that's where I think it is important to caveat like this is a reclass freshman. He is a late bloomer. It's probably best to temper expectations. And a lot of times I think we get to late June, early July, and it's like if your team has missed on however many targets, Kansas missed on Darion Williams. They've been looking for another player to give them some of that perimeter pop. It's easy to be like, okay, we finally got our guy. Let me overrate him in my mind. And realistically, he could be like a 5 point per game scorer this upcoming season.
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
Oh, it's not even that. It's like when we discuss like, and I'm not trying to harp on what you said by any means, because like I get where you're coming from too, but it's like you was hitting like off the bounce threes, like that's 90% of the NBA. Like that's you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
at the Adidas Next Gen tournament and at the high school level, that's crazy impressive. At the college level, it's like fairly impressive. You know what I mean? But it's not nearly as impressive as it is at the high school level. And then at the NBA level, it's like sick.
Yeah,
You
right.
and everybody else on the court is doing that, right? Like that's the evolution through the ranks of the sport. And I think that's like my takeaway from Cole Rosario is like phenomenal player, but like the things he does great, I think could very much so benefit Kansas. But like if we're, and I know you said it's like a random Twitter account, but like if we're having serious like NBA discussions, let's really, really, really look at the tape for a second and pump the brakes. Like it's possible he has the natural athleticism and the natural athletic ability to do so, but nothing he does on tape screams like definitely doesn't scream lotto pick, but like it definitely it doesn't scream like right away NBA player, which that's exactly why Bill Self wants him, by the way. So if you're a Kansas fan, don't listen to anything I'm saying and take it the wrong way.
Hmm.
Bill Self already got the guy that's the one and done. That's a potential number one, number two, number three pick in the draft and Sleepy Pete. He isn't trying to surround Sleepy Pete with other one and done lottery picks, right? And it's clear that's how he went about it in the portal. That's how he went about it with Badunga. I mean, Badunga might be an NBA player, but probably not Lotto. You know what I mean? And then that's how he's doing it with the Cole Rosario ad is he's filling roles and he's filling needs that aren't just for this year. Let's help Sleepy Pete do something, but let's also have a roster where we're going into like high school recruiting in the portal next year. We can go star hunting now. And so I don't think he wants Cole Rosario to be a one and done. So Kansas fans, don't be mad at what I'm saying, but the kid definitely isn't a one and done.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, Dion, just because you might hear some of my comments be like, oh, I'm pretty low on Kohl Rosario. That's not the case at all. I just am trying to set the table for realistic expectations for him. I think he can step onto a college court tomorrow and be ready to play. You know, like I know he is older. He's already like has a college ready frame, like you mentioned. When you see the athleticism, when you see the shooting, it fills a need for this team. He's not a superstar by any means. Probably won't be. I guess I don't want to look that far in ahead, but there's a chance he's never a superstar in college. But at the very least, should be a really good role player this year. And it's funny now you're talking about Bill Self and him developing talent and everything, not just to do like a Caucasian basketball player comp, but it wasn't too long ago where we saw him take a late rising white bouncy wing who could shoot a little bit and would meme mug and turned him into an NBA player with Christian
Oh,
Brown.
about Grady Dick.
I'm talking about Christian Brown.
Oh,
Because Christian Brown was another guy who was like ranked outside the top 100 when he committed. I think Rosario is probably a better shooter. Well, obviously not Brown as the finished product today. I would guess Rosario finishes his Kansas career as a more like prolific and higher percentage shooter than Brown. Maybe he gets there, but I think that's probably the archetype that if I'm that I would honestly guess Bill Self sold Rosario on.
CB was in college for a decent amount of time though. Like he was there
Like
3 years.
3 years. Yeah, he was a 3 year player.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
I definitely think Cole's at least a 2, 3 year guy.
yeah, I'm with you on that. Regardless, good ad for Kansas. It's great when you can get a guy who you can pencil into your rotation this late in the offseason and one with as much upside as Rosario, not just this year, but well beyond.